Hello and welcome to a Beyond the Trailer special report. Yes, thanks to someone named Sam Medina and his Twitter account, we're getting our first look at official promotional art for Avengers Age of Ultron. Promotional artwork that is awesome for what it does show and kind of disappointing for what it does not. In fact, after my initial excitement over seeing the Vision, such a great shot of him, I was then disappointed as I looked for my other favorite characters and didn't see them. And I'm curious as to how many of you share that same experience when looking at this poster. And we'll talk about that in a moment, as this seems to be one step forward yet two steps back for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But again, let's start out on a positive note and discuss all the cool things going on here, and there is a lot of cool stuff to discuss. Now, of course, the Vision. I was so excited to see him. This is a great shot of him. We saw him from the back at Comic-Con in that multi-piece promotional poster that they kind of released, throughout the convention. It was a puzzle, but we got to see him from behind. So we knew he was going to look very Vision-esque. We knew they were going to go with the look from the comics. But I think it's still striking to see how much he looks like the comics here in this promotional artwork. Even more so, I'd say, than any other character here. Maybe the Hulk, because you can't really change them much with the Hulk anyway. But he is ripped from the pages of the comics. And you know what? I think as a result, while he's cool to the comic book fan in me, he doesn't quite seem to fit with the group. I'd be like, Tony, why did you put like that head jewelry on him, and why did you give him a cape, and why does he have a red face? I mean, there are a lot of design questions that, and Tony Stark doesn't seem that artistic to me. It's not like an Andy Warhol type character was like, I will whip up the Vision for you, just give me the program, Tony. I don't know why my Andy Warhol has an Eastern European accent, but I guess I'm putting a little Edna Mode in there from The Incredibles as well, although Edna would never put a cape on him, as we well know. So he looks a little bit maybe too comic booky, which is a weird criticism for a comic book film. But I think Marvel, especially as the movies have progressed, has worked quite hard to make these characters seem very realistic, real world, something you could actually run into. I mean, I know it's not as gritty and realistic as, say, Nolan's Batman trilogy. There's certainly a lighter note and a more comedic tone, but realistic in that regard, particularly I think with The Winter Soldier. That film seemed very realistic to me, and we'll discuss that in a moment. But we're talking about Paul Bettany's The Vision. Also, do you think Paul Bettany really beefed up that much? I mean, I know that Hollywood trainers can work miracles, but that seems like quite the miracle. I wonder how much artistic license is taken here, as this is an illustration. It's not a photo of the actual actors in costume, so we'll see. But Paul Bettany, to me, seems to have a very slight build, so I don't know if he could actually bulk up to this degree. Although, who knows with Hollywood costume designers, if trainers can't do it, maybe the costume designers can step in there and fix what they need to. But Paul Bettany has an awesome superhero pose here. He's really gotten that down. Again, it's an artistic illustration, but it's based on what's going on with the film. I mean, they have wrapped. They're in post-production now, so whoever's drawing this has a pretty good idea of what's going to show up on screen. So I'm very excited about that. You see the Stark Tower is now Avengers Tower behind them, and I think that's a great addition. And so let's move over to what else I think is interesting here, and that's the clear hierarchy of the team that's evolving. Not just within the team, but also obviously within Marvel Studios and how they see their characters. Now, of course, Iron Man is always center, for not center, but front. He's the most forefront character here, right behind Sam Medina. But then, I think very tellingly, Captain America has the second most prominent position on the poster. Now, I loved Captain America: The Winter Soldier. To date, it's my top film for the year. I thought it was so well done. It was very realistic, as I just said. And then finally, I got Cap. I've never gotten him in the comics. I've never gotten him any medium. I'm always like, why does anybody listen to Cap? What's so great about Cap? But with Captain America: The Winter Soldier, I got it. I got why his shield was so cool, how he could utilize it, how he was, such a great asset, not just to the Avengers, but to S.H.I.E.L.D. and also to our country. A really great character, and Chris Evans really came into his own there. I still think he should lose the helmet, and I'm sure they, of course, as you know, they give, as soon as they can find an opportunity for him to take it off, they let him take it off. But I think he really won over a lot of fans. I was actually over the weekend, I was at a mall, and I was in Hallmark. I tweeted a photo about Star Wars merchandise yesterday, but also they had Captain America cards. They had the DC cards, but then when you were looking for what the Marvel offerings were, they were Captain America. So that says to me that the character is also taking off with the mainstream audience as well, which is very exciting, and I'm excited to see Cap, rise through the ranks, as he should. He's supposed to be the leader of this team, or in the comics right now, he's the co-leader with Iron Man. Last I checked, I haven't been reading Avengers. I'm not a big fan of Jonathan Hickman's work, but it's great to see him get a promotion. Then, of course, I think it's interesting that Hawkeye is so prominent on here. And, I don't want to use bad language, but, you know, he really cried like a rhymes with witch, and so acting kind of like that is what got him on here. And, you know, did he take the place of no female characters that we don't see here? You know, I think Black Widow and a new character like Scarlet Witch, which I'm going to get to in a moment, are, you know, really a big deal for this film. And for Hawkeye, who not only wasn't that big a deal in the Avengers, but hasn't resurfaced in any of the other comic book movies since then, why does he get such a prominent place on this promotional art? Unless, of course, you know, he really complained and cried about it. He looks cool. You know, I think that an Archer, you know, they're huge fans for Archers. It's a really big group. A lot of people really like it. You can see the current popularity of not just Katniss, but Green Arrow. Of course, even on Young Justice. I can't believe I don't remember the name. Oh my God, it's been so long since it's been on. But that character was very, very popular as well as an Archer. I know so many of you are going to write in the comments, how could you forget Grace? But this is what happens when the show is on for so long. All right, so anyway, so he's there. So he's gotten quite a prominent position. So I guess the squeaky wheel does get the grease. Then you've got Hulk. Of course, he's so big, he's never going to really go in the front, and he, you know, always is going to be an eye catcher. And I think, you know, they have big plans, obviously, for Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, and he's confirmed that he plays a very large role in this film because he doesn't have a standalone film. So that's very exciting. And then way in the back there is Thor, because his movie was a disappointment. You know, I think a lot of fans weren't a fan of it, myself included. But, you know, it really wasn't the box office hit that was expected, especially considering how much Iron Man 3 was able to build off the Avengers. Well, Thor 2 also came out of the Avengers and did not perform to the degree of Captain America the Winter Soldier or Iron Man 3. So as you can see, he's been put in the back. And also, I think this is clearly Quicksilver's arm here, because you can see the piping and the two-toned color look that he has on his, you know, his Lululemon shirt. So he's there, and so Sam's just standing in front of him. So he's getting a position on this shirt, on this poster. You can just see his arm there. So, but he's not running or anything. I guess you wouldn't be able to see him. So very cool, really revealing backdrop that we see here. But you know what else is revealing about it? It's that while this is one step forward in terms of, you know, Captain America, getting the Vision on there, moving the, you know, upgrading the team, seeing some progress, you know, it's movement forward for Hawkeye. It's really two steps back for diversity with the Avengers and the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's something we're talking about a lot here on this show. They don't give Black Panther a movie, they don't give Black Widow or Captain Marvel a film, and Kevin Feige has even spoken to the fact recently that he's aware of the fan fervor for these properties. But still, nothing. Stan Lee dropped some rumors, but you know, Stan Lee is a master showman. He knows the importance of pleasing your audience, and I think that's why he mentioned Black Panther, just to try and make people get excited. And also, I think to call some attention to his comment. As I said, he's a very, very smart campaigner, very good at getting attention for himself, which is a really admirable skill. I'm not saying this is a negative. So I think that's why he brought up Black Panther. But until you hear it from Feige, I would not count on it. Now, of course, Black Panther isn't a member of this team, but where's Nick Fury? He's a really important member of the Avengers. I know maybe he's underground after Winter Soldier, but still, Cap's here, so I don't see why Nick Fury wouldn't be here as well. And he did bring so much needed diversity to the team. So, and he was on the original posters for the Avengers film, so I don't know why he's not, you know, they're not utilizing him here. I'd even take him if standing in the back, just a little tiny Black Fury on top of Avengers Tower. I'd be like, okay, he's watching them go off and being like, go! You know, he's like the Charles Xavier, complete with bald head of the Avengers. But then also, where is Black Widow and Scarlet Witch? Black Widow was a really important character in The Winter Soldier. I think many would argue that she was as big a star in that movie as Captain America and just as integral to its success. I thought they made a lot of progress with the character. I was very excited for her, and I'm very excited for her in this movie. Now, I know she spent the shoot pregnant, and they had to do a lot of body doubles and close-up shots for her to have her still be in the film, but they did. Obviously, her role in the film and her what she does for the team is big enough that they're like, so what if she's pregnant? Let's pay to put her head on someone else's body. I mean, clearly they want to have her there. So why isn't she in the poster? Now, someone could say, and I'm sure you are already, that poor Sam, has just happened to be standing in front of all the diversity here, that they've crammed Black Widow, the Scarlet Witch, and Nick Fury into Iron Man's armpit. And they're all just there waving, being like, we're here too. And maybe they're on the other side of Iron Man, but I don't think so. I think that Iron Man is framing this. You know, he's going to, you know, pull up the side here. And also, I'm going to give Sam more credit than cutting off, and also the two female members standing next to each other. I just think it's very weird. Now, the only person I would maybe think could be here standing behind Sam would be Scarlet Witch. And that's just an unfortunate situation for Sam that he's standing in front of her, because she would be next to her brother. But Black Widow should be here. Nick Fury should be here. And considering the 44%, as so many of you like to point out, was of the audience for Guardians of the Galaxy was female, and there's such a big demand for Gamora merchandise, that Marvel continues to turn a deaf ear and a blind eye to this demand is just, it's so frustrating and exhausting. So I'm disappointed in that, but I'm very excited about the film, and I'm very happy for Captain America, and I'm excited for Paul Bettany. He spent a lot of time just doing the voice of the Vision, so I'm so excited that he got an upgrade. All right, so what do you think of this promotional artwork? Are you excited? What are you excited about? Are you disappointed about who's been left off of it? And what do you think of Marvel? Their architects for their overall universe. How much longer can they get away with this? I'm really honestly curious to what your thoughts are on this. At what point will it be too much for you? I mean, I know I'm going to see this movie no matter what they do, because it's such a big deal, but it's just, it just takes a little bit of my excitement away. It just hurts a little bit not to be valued by Marvel and want to be, for them to include me. But I'm curious, what do you think, or what are you excited about? What do you dislike? Share your thoughts down below. And thanks to Sam for tweeting this awesome photo. All right, thanks so much, and you can watch some other episodes right now.